No disrespect to other sports that say they're endurance sports, which they are, but this is the ultimate.
To get into the sport, you got to be fit, but it's way beyond that. It's mental toughness that
Very much so.
Most of us cannot appreciate what it's like unless you've done something like it before.
The team is always first in every situation.
What do you think people who are seeing the sport for the first time think about the races?
They think they're absolutely nuts.
When we came to BC to design something, we had the top 5 things that we really needed. We needed the racers to see glaciers. We needed good, hard BC single track, some good white water. We needed some nasty bushwhacks and just plain old amazing scenery.
Let's go back 9 days ago. Racers left here, beautiful Penticton, after their preparation. Traveled by bus to Pemberton to North Arm Farms.
Long journey, but we are here at the start line for the 2025 Subaru Canada Adventure Racing World Championship. Let's hear it.
In the morning, they had to shuck some corn, and they left on a mountain bike race just outside of Pemberton in world-class mountain bike trails.
Yo!
Following that, it was a grueling mountain bike up a hill to Semaphore Lakes for the first trek of the race. Racers were treated to a beautiful view of a glacier. They worked through that together. Gorgeous, broad Canadian landscape. Descending from that trek, they were back on their bikes and they dropped down to the Gun Creek transition area. Carpenter Lake. The Seaton Portage. Portage around the dam. Nice little class 2-3 whitewater to get in the town of Lillooet. Teams left via bike. They had to travel south and then northeast to get to 88 Ranch. There they dropped their bikes and they had to trek across beautiful grass and prairie lands in the farm area. They then went as far north as historic Hat Creek Ranch. They dug some trees, a replanting project. They went south and down into the town of Ashcroft for their paddle section on the Thompson River. A long paddle section. Some teams were dark zoned on the side of the river at night. Teams took out a TA7 at Goldpan. They had a portage with their bikes and their pack rafts. They went down through the town of Lytton. They then crossed the footbridge. And they climbed to Rio Resort, which was TA89. There, some teams did a hike to a paddle, and some teams did a hike and they came out depending on where the dark zone fell. After leaving TA89, they biked to TA10. And then they had the crux of the race. They had the trek up and over these beautiful mountains. They had a rappel section in there, the high alpine. Many teams had a proper adventure at that part of the race. Cold weather came in. Some teams had to take shelter overnight.
I'm hungry and I'm puffy. And yeah, we still have a long ways down to go on this trail and my feet are pretty messed up.
Teams made it down to TA11 after going through a fantastic truck stop rest area, had a great meal there.
Get 3 beef burgers, please.
Following that trek, they come into TA11. They go back from being on their feet after the massive alpine stage, and they are back on their bikes. Teams had a cycle on Forest Service roads with some navigation into the China Ridge Orienteering Trek. Orienteering section in any order they want. Back on their bikes into TA14. They exchanged their bikes for the final canoe. They canoed down the shoreline of Lake Okanagan.
What's interesting is when you've worked multiple TAs, you've seen how teams have shifted, and they might have been in a world of hurt and struggling early on, and then by the time you see them at the back end and they've got this last leg to go home, You know, you can see that spirits have lifted. They've got through a lot of tough spots, bonded together, relied on each other, and now want to finish as a team.